Okay, let's go ahead. Give me 1 second here. Well, welcome to Trade and Industry. We have here Mr. Jacob Shiba. Okay,
Right.
and he is from Palomar, and he'll go over some trade and industry, different programs that's offered, and specifically what he does at Palomar College. But first, I would like to show a quick video. It's different programs within trade and industry, and it's compiled into one video. So we'll play this 4-minute clip, and then after that, Mr. Shiba has a presentation of his own, and then we'll have some time for questions and answers. Okay, so give me 1 moment here. And then we'll go ahead and play.
Automotive technology is more than just the world of repairing vehicles. We have a lot of administrative roles that have to support our automotive repair.
I'd say it's a great practical skill to know, even if you don't plan on going into the field.
You get to bring in your car, and whatever we're learning about, you can fix it on your car.
It's cool to learn like different services that I can do on my car, so I can do them myself.
One of my previous students
We lost the audio one.
Yeah, I think we lost audio.
We have a full machine shop, which is available, and we have engine rebuilding. So we have the most intense classes all the way up to basic classes in order to give a little something for everybody here.
I heard of Palomar back home in South America where I came from. My grandparents, they went to South America to visit, and that's how they tell me about Palomar. So they brought us here to study, and I'm enjoying it.
The skills we have are universal. You teach them basic skills and then grow upon them.
It's been a good program. I like the professor and the environment, great shop tools, and I've learned a lot.
Palomar is a great college for the trades. They got many different programs.
The experience, you know, you get lots of personal projects from other students. You get to bring your own, or just what the shop has.
I like because they have every tool that you need. You don't have to bring it. They have it here already. You're working on cars, which means you're not only doing bookwork, you're working on the car itself.
If you're a major car enthusiast, this is like the best college to go to.
I actually did some research on it, and I found out that Palomar actually had probably one of the best welding programs in Southern California.
Anyone can learn it. It's especially if you really take the time for it and you really have a passion for it, it's really good.
The welding program is awesome because we actually do a lot of very different disciplines within the welding field.
When they get done, they're really ready to go into the industry. If you walk out of this lab, you're gonna see the same exact equipment.
And the more you learn about it, it's a really great experience. It's just a little scary at first, but then once I knew how much money they made, it really got me hooked.
We cannot get enough skilled welders in the United States. It's that simple. If you want a job and you like working with your hands, you like working with your mind, you want to make some money, we got a career path for you.
Fresh water is taken for granted as it comes out of the tap. I work for an agency that we're responsible for providing safe water for over 3 million people. And to know that you have a hand in that on a day-to-day basis is very rewarding.
The classes work with my schedule. I'm able to work a full day and still make it to class at night.
It's a lot better than what I thought it was going to be. The hands-on is excellent. The instructor, Chris, is awesome.
The instructors that teach the classes are all industry leaders and work at neighboring agencies.
A lot of people I know finished the program and had good things to say about it.
You are going to get some experience with distribution, treatment, backflow certification and testing, waterworks mathematics, pumps and motors, and even instrumentation and controls.
Awesome. Okay. All right, Jacob, all yours.
All right. So kind of hopefully you got the overview there of what trade and industry is, and then it kind of makes up a bunch of different disciplines. And so, you know, half of what you saw, or more than half of what you saw, really focuses on cars and vehicles, whether it's working in auto body and working on the exterior of vehicles, whether it's working on the automotive side, where you're working on the engine of what's inside the car. Trade and industry, though, also has programs focused on diesel, where we're focused specifically on the diesel engines, right? Whether it's the semi trucks that move our goods from A to B, whether it's the bobcats and the bulldozers and the cranes, with how we build things. So there's also that side, the diesel side of things as well. And then we also have one other program other than mine, which is also focused on really woodworking. And it's really kind of cabinetry, furniture making, those kinds of things as well. So we have kind of a mixed group of different programs within trade and industry. And a lot of our students kind of often bounce from one to the next. You know, they'll take a welding class and then they'll take an auto body class, and they kind of like this, so then they take an automotive class, and they're able to kind of bounce around a little bit, if you will. And we're all really in the same area with a lot of the same students. So it kind of forms this community around our students who all have the same goal, which is to, you know, take some classes, get some certs, and get out and get a job that has a living wage and start working. So within the division, if you will, of trade and industry, my specific program is called water technology. So I'm going to spend the rest of these couple of minutes here just talking a little bit more about that, and then we'll have a couple minutes at the end just for a Q&A. Now, you know, depending on how many students, I didn't know how many people would be in here, so I like to ask a lot of questions. So if you're in here at all and you want to answer, that's fine too. I like to use the reactions that we've got here within the Zoom feed. Feel free to give a thumbs up on your video. But how many of you drink water today? Anybody drink water today? Okay, I got some hands waving. Yeah, okay, right. So we all drink water today. What about took a shower or wash our hands, right? Hopefully, either that or, you know, hopefully at least washing our hands, right? Who flushed the toilet today? Right? Yep, we all flushed the toilet, guilty. And what about how many of us saw grass? So we saw other plants, different trees, different things being irrigated, right? All of these different things, all of these different assets of our life all revolve around water, right? And that's what this program is all about. And so, but where does our water come from, right? Well, it comes from the sink, right? Which is oftentimes the answer I get from students. Well, it comes from the sink. Well, does it magically get there? Well, no, not exactly, right? And then after we use that water, right, it goes down the toilet. Where does it go? It doesn't just magically disappear or get taken care of. In reality, there are agencies that cover every single part of San Diego County that their sole job is to make sure that that safe, clean drinking water gets to your home, gets to your school, your business, whatever it may be. And they're on the other side of that. There's also an agency there. Sometimes it's the same type of agency, sometimes it's different, who's also responsible for taking away that used water, whether it came from your shower, your toilet, your dishwasher, whatever it may be, and treating that water, cleaning it so that it can be handled safely and properly reused. Right? So San Diego County is broken up into all these different agencies, all with the same goal of bringing clean water in and taking the dirty water away. And a job where you're helping to do that, you know, expands to all of Southern California, right? Depending on how many of us want to move and where we live and where we commute from. And further out, the entire state of California has someone providing clean water and taking away the used water and dealing with that. And that career path can expand to any state, any country, any continent, because no matter who you are or where you are, we need clean water coming in, and we need to take care of the dirty water that leaves. And so a career in the water industry it can take many different types of forms, where you work for the company that's delivering water and taking away the wastewater. So you could be an engineer, for example. You could get into water treatment, right? If you like chemistry, or you've got more of a biology or physics background. If you're good with numbers, you could be finance for a water agency. You could work, if you're good with people, you could work in human resources or communications, customer service or customer relations. If you're good with your hands, you want to work in kind of the operation and the maintenance side of things. There are many different assets or types of fields you can pursue where you're working for a water agency through many different types of career paths. And jobs in water in California are only going to continue to have more and more openings. Right now, it's estimated that there are about 6,000 job openings a year in California's water industry. And there are a lot of folks set to retire that are currently retiring or about to retire as that baby boomer generation moves out of the industry. So there are going to be a lot of vacancies in these agencies at these districts in these fields of water and wastewater. And that's throughout California, and really that's throughout the world. So when it comes to water technology, right, every time we use water, right, there is an operator on the other side of that, making sure that that drinking water coming into your house, not only is it safe to drink, but we have to make sure that that water gets to your home properly, right? From the reservoirs, from the tanks, from the water treatment plants. So there's an operator who is looking, monitoring the system and taking care of these processes 24/7, right? Because no matter when we use water, it's always there, it's always available to us. And we can flush the toilet or take a shower whenever we want. So there's always someone on the other side of that. So Palomar's program is really designed to train the next wave of operators. And those moving into this field, it's really a lifelong career, right? And you're providing life's most precious resource. And that's water. We can't do anything, we can't live, we can't grow anything, we can't eat, we can't do any of that without water, right? And so a career in the water industry is one that really provides stability, because no matter how the economy fluctuates, no matter what's going on, a pandemic, if you will, we are always going to be providing water. Doesn't matter what's going on around us, and we're always going to be treating wastewater. So it provides stability. Water agencies are good, competitive paying jobs that pay livable wages with great benefits, and often careers that are really very exciting. And so a lot of these, providers are mostly publicly owned utilities, right? You might be part of the city of Vista or Vista Irrigation District. You might be Vallecito's Water District. You might be any of these local agencies, but there are also private utilities. There are regulators. There are more like environmental consulting firms. You can also be a part of industry, but work on the water side. A great example are breweries. Stone Brewing right there in San Marcos has their own mini wastewater treatment plant on site, where they take all their wastewater from all their processes, they process it, they treat it, they clean it, and they get it ready for reuse. That's totally cool if we have to transition. I got a couple photos here, which we saw in the video, but we just have a lot of hands-on classes, whether we're in a lab sitting with technical equipment or we're working with backflow and water equipment. And again, like I said, all of our classes are daytime, nighttime. We offer a mix of in-person, online as well. Okay, we can wrap it there.
Any questions for Jacob before we head out? Okay, so in the chat, I will go ahead and paste all the links again to the breakout session. So you have about 5 minutes to go into the next room. So there is nursing, trade and industry, that's the one you're in right now, business, graphic, and communications, and then child development ESL. Okay, so let me paste that for you. All right, you can go ahead and transition into the next room.
Cool, thanks for being here, Abraham.
Thank you. Thank you.
you.
Very welcome. All right.
Oh.
How'd I do, everybody? Was that okay?
That was very good. Very good. Thank you, Jacob.
You're very welcome. Yeah, I'm happy to be here.
And since we do have a few minutes before the other students get here, what is usually the entry salary for someone working in this industry?
Yeah, absolutely. So in San Diego County, none of the jobs you would get at a water district pay less than 20 an hour. So they all start over 20 an hour. A lot of the entry-level jobs that our students look for are kind of in like, field maintenance, more construction type. They are in, meters, or maybe they work in a meter shop. Those types of jobs usually start, 23, 25 an hour. And then within your first 5 years of your career, really, if you decide to progress your way up, you can very easily get to a job that's anywhere between 85 to 100, 105,000 a year within your first 5 years. In addition to medical, dental, eye, retirement, vacation, all those, really awesome perks.
So it's a 2-year and AA degree, right?
Correct. Yeah, the associate degree is a 2-year degree. But what a lot of our students do, though, is a lot of our classes are designed to prepare you for industry certifications, so that you take our classes, you kind of learn the content, get some hands-on experience, you go test and take your industry certifications, you get those, and you go right out and start applying for jobs and go right into the workforce, even before you finish your degree. So a lot of entry-level positions do not require an associate degree to get started.
Would you, I know I can type my email. Would you be able to send me like which type of certifications students would help them like get a job?
Yeah, oh, absolutely.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, let me send you, I'll type my email just so you all have it. How does that sound?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you. And Serena, I can connect you with Jacob as well.
Yes, that would be good, because I didn't know that part, that they would be able to even test before they're done with their get types of certifications.
Yeah, no, absolutely. That's a big thing with our students. We have one class that's called Career Pathways in Water Technology that focuses on like, what are all the career paths, and what do I need to pursue those? What education, what certificates, what are the requirements? We do cover letter and resume writing. We do mock interview preparation. We do presenting, public speaking, all that kind of stuff. So it's really about preparing them to choose their field, and then helping them to get into that field as well.
Great. Well, thank
Cool.
you.
Yeah, of course. Thank you. All right, so I sent my email there in the chat so that everyone can see that there. So please feel free to reach out. And you know what? I put palomar.com. I'm so sorry. It's palomar.edu. That's what I get for talking while typing.
Thank you.
There we go.
Okay, so we have about a minute left before we start our session number 2. And so if you haven't noticed already, our instructor joining us from Palomar College is Jacob Shiva, and he's going to talk about the different programs that's in trade and industry. Okay.
Welcome, everybody. Thanks for coming out.
Awesome. Okay, we'll go ahead and get started. I think I noticed a few people just hopped on. So welcome, you're in trade and industry. This is our second workshop for the night. I will now, in the chat box, there is the links to all the other breakout sessions. If you are in the wrong room, please feel free to go to the program or the area of interest that you would like. It's in there. But for trade and industry, we will go ahead and get started. Okay. So we have about 15 minutes. I will play a quick 4-minute video with the different programs that's within trade and industry at Palomar College. And then after that, Jacob has a short presentation, and then we'll have a little bit of time for any questions and answers. And then we'll join back into the main room, and I will give all that information towards the very end there. Okay. 1 second here.
Vaughn, there's no sound on my side.
Our automotive repair.
I'd say it's a great practical skill to know, even if you don't plan on going into the field.
You get to bring in your car, and whatever we're learning about, you can fix it on your car.
It's cool to learn like different services that I can do on my car, so I can do them myself.
One of my previous students is now making $80,000 a year after 3 years in the industry.
Right now, I thought I knew somewhat about cars, and this is teaching me just what I don't know.
We have a full machine shop, which is available, and we have engine rebuilding. So we have the most intense classes all the way up to basic classes in order to give a little something for everybody here.
I heard of Palomar back home in South America where I came from. My grandparents, they went to South America to visit, and that's how they tell me about Palomar. So they brought us here to study, and I'm enjoying it.
The skills we have are universal. We teach them basic skills and then grow upon them.
It's been a good program. I like the professor and the environment, great shop tools, and I've learned a lot.
Palomar is a great college for the trades. They got many different programs.
The experience, you know, we get lots of personal projects from other students. You get to bring your own, or just what the shop has.
I like because they have every tool that you need. You don't have to bring it. They have it here already. You're working on cars, which means you're not only doing book work, you're working on the car itself.
If you're a major car enthusiast, this is like the best college to go to.
I actually did some research on it, and I found out that Palomar actually had probably one of the best welding programs in Southern California.
Anyone can learn it. It's especially if you really take the time for it and you really have a passion for it, it's really good.
The welding program is awesome because we actually do a lot of very different disciplines within the welding field.
When they get done, they're really ready to go into the industry. If you walk out of this lab, you're gonna see the same exact equipment.
The more you learn about it, it's a really great experience. It's just a little scary at first, but then once I knew how much money they made, it was like, it really got me hooked.
We cannot get enough skilled welders in the United States. It's that simple. If you want a job and you like working with your hands, you like working with your mind, you want to make some money, we got a career path for you.
Fresh water is taken for granted as it comes out of the tap. I work for an agency that we're responsible for providing safe water for over 3 million people. And to know that you have a hand in that on a day-to-day basis is very rewarding.
The classes work with my schedule. I'm able to work a full day and still make it to class at night.
It's a lot better than what I thought it was going to be. The hands-on is excellent. The instructor, Chris, is awesome.
The instructors that teach the classes are all industry leaders and work at neighboring agencies.
A lot of people I know finished the program and had good things to say about it.
You are going to get some experience with distribution, treatment, backflow certification and testing, waterworks mathematics, pumps and motors, and even instrumentation and controls.
Okay, awesome. I also had someone ask if they will have access to the different breakout sessions after the event. And I think probably within this week or next week, all of the recordings for the sessions will be accessible on campus. So you're not missing out on any of the others if you're interested in looking at those as well. Okay. All right, Jacob, the floor is all yours.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much, Vaughn. Okay, so what you saw there were a couple different videos from a couple different programs that we have within what we're calling trade and industry. And so trade and industry is just one section at Palomar that's really focused on industry jobs. And it's really focused on classes that are, both in the classroom, but also hands-on components to teach you a trade, to get you out there into the job field so that you have a trade for life, right? So you have a job for life. And so as you saw, part of that program is comprised of the the automotive side, the car side, if you will, where you're in auto body, where you're working on the exterior cars, automotive, which you saw where you're working on the engines, the interior of cars. We also have a diesel component as well to that, where you're really working more on diesel engines, focused on, you know, the semi trucks that deliver all of our goods and services, the bobcats, the tractors, the backhoes, the cranes, that really help to build everything that we live in. So we have that side on the car side of things. You also saw about our welding program, which applies to really any kind of job where you are fusing metals together. And then on the other side of that, we also have a cabinetry and furniture technology, where you're really focused on building cabinets, building furniture. It's a lot of woodworking. And then lastly, here we've got my program, which is the water technology program. So that's what I'm going to spend just a few more minutes talking to us about right now. So with that, I want to get started with a question. How many of us drank water today? Show your hand, or use a little thumbs up emoji. Right, well, hopefully, if you haven't drinking water today, you need to go grab yourself a glass of water. Right? So we've all drinking water today. How many of us have taken a shower? We took a shower, we washed our hands, we did something with water. Hopefully we washed our hands. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, good, good, right? I know it's obvious, but what about how many of us flushed the toilet, right? This is toilet talk here, right? Hopefully, what? Yeah, come on, right? We've all flushed the toilet. And then how many of us have seen grass, if we've seen, you know, luscious landscapes and all sorts of trees and shrubs? Any of that landscape is all watered, right? With our drinking water, right? So all of these different assets of our life revolve and rely on water, right? It's something that we use every single day in almost everything we do. Right? So I want you to hold that thought. Now, on the other side of that, your use, right? Where does that water come from? Well, some of that comes from the sink, right? That's what we say, or the shower or wherever. But it gets there somehow, right? It doesn't just magically show up, right? So someone has to make sure it gets to that sink, whether it's your home, your business, your school, whatever it may be. Now, on the other side, after that, we use the water, right? And so where does that water go, right? When we flush the toilet, after we take a shower, after we do a load of laundry, well, that water has to be dealt with, right? That water has to be treated. It has to be cleaned up so that we can take that water safely and reuse that water for other purposes, right? Kind of repeat this water cycle, if you will. And so no matter where you go in San Diego, no matter what city you're in, what part of the county you're in, there is an agency there who is ensuring that that safe, clean drinking water makes it to your home and comes out of your sink every single day, 365 days a year. Doesn't matter the time of day or the holiday or what's going on. There is an agency responsible for bringing that clean water in. And there's also an agency responsible, and usually it's the same agency, for making sure that that dirty water, that used water, gets taken away so we don't have to deal with it, and it gets treated and cleaned up properly so it can be reused. And that's no matter where you go in San Diego County. That's no matter where you go in Southern California. You can see in the very bottom there, that's San Diego County, as you stretch all the way up past Orange and LA, and everywhere you go across the entire state of California. There are agencies out there ensuring that we get safe, clean drinking water coming into our homes and businesses, and that the used water that leaves gets treated properly and is safe to then be reused, right? No matter where you go and what you do. And that, you know, that map of California there, no matter where you go in the United States, no matter what country you go to, no matter what continent you go to, a career focused in the water industry can take you anywhere, right? Especially for those who want to get out of California or want to go back to anywhere, right? Now, when you're working for one of these agencies, as I mentioned, a water district, right? A water agency, you can work in many different types of careers, but working for a water agency. You could be in engineering. You could be in water treatment or wastewater treatment, especially if you like a chemistry background, a physics, a biology background. You can work, if you're good with numbers, on the finance side. Maybe you're good with people. You could work in human resources. You could work in communications, in customer service or customer relations. If you want to be in the field and you're mechanically inclined and good with your hands, you could be on the operation, the maintenance side. So there are many different types of career paths you can take working for a water or wastewater agency. And in California alone, it's estimated that we have about 6,000 job openings every year in the water agency. And those jobs are only going to grow, and there are going to be more and more openings. So what is water technology at Palomar College? Well, every time you use water, right, there is an operator on the other side of that, making sure that the water coming into your home is safe and clean to drink, and making sure it gets there, making sure it gets distributed. There are also operators on the other side, every time you flush a toilet, making sure that that used water makes its way to a treatment plant and gets treated safely for reuse. And so our program is designed to train the next wave of operators for a lifelong career providing this most precious resource. And a career in the water industry is one that is stable, right? No matter the economy, no matter a pandemic, we always need our water and wastewater services. And a career in water is one that has good pay, good benefits, and is often very exciting. So there are a lot of various agencies and entities that you can go out and get jobs for in the water industry. And here at Palomar's program, a lot of our classes are textbook, they're test-based, they're in the classroom, but there's also hands-on components as well, where you're really getting experience that you would be able to take and apply to the field and to a career, right? And going into our program is about taking classes, getting industry certifications, and getting you a job in the career path now, right? While you're taking classes, even before you finished your degree. We also have an internship with the San Diego County Water Authority. That's a really great regional internship program for students. Lots of other different types of programs like that. Going into the water industry, you can make anywhere from $50,000 to almost $150,000 a year without a four-year degree as you work your way up through that ladder. Okay, any questions? I see a hand raised. I don't know if Dominga, if you have the ability to talk or use the chat maybe.
I think that hand has been there.
Oh, okay. Anyone else? Questions, comments, thoughts?
Any other questions for Jacob?
Are there other trades that you teach that you didn't mention tonight?
So within trade and industry, that kind of covered all of them. Now, within the college as a whole, though, like we have over 200 different types of programs, and some of those are kind of more trades, but really trade and industry is really focused on woodworking, water, welding, auto body, automotive, and diesel.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course.
Earlier, Selena had asked kind of the starting wage or salary for students who may be interested in this. Jacob, can you kind of go over that just real quickly?
Yeah, sure. So there are no agencies in San Diego County that have any jobs that pay less than 20 an hour. Right, so every single job starts you at least at 20 an hour. If you're full-time, you've got full benefits, medical, dental, eye, health insurance, you've got retirement, you've got vacation time, work-life balance. A lot of them work a 980 schedule or even 410s. And then if you're going into the field, into more like operations and maintenance, those types of jobs, they usually start 23, 24, 25 an hour. And you can work your way up very quickly within the first 5 years to really try to get to that six-figure line within 5 years. Is a very, very reachable goal.
And that's with a 2-year degree or?
Correct. Yeah, that would be you can get in without a degree at all. But then at some point, depending on your position as you work your way up, you will need a degree to get to the next step. But as the graphic back here showed, you can get you can have a lifelong career without ever getting a 4-year degree in the water industry and work your way up to typically like a supervisory role with an associate degree, where you're making over 6 figures, over 150, over 100 at least $1,000 a year.
Are these union jobs or are they all over
the
industry?
So they're all over, but each water district typically has their own workers union of hourly employees versus your classified employees. And so those unions, if you will, bargain on behalf of their unit, come up with MOUs and kind of have that whole back and forth like you would in really any other industry union setting.
Great. Well, thank you so much, Jacob, for spending time with us this evening to talk about trade and industry and also water technology. And for everyone else that's here, please join us back at the main session. That link is now in the chat box for you. So you have about, give or take 4 minutes until the general session starts again. So the link is available for you. Go ahead and hop on over.
All right, great. Thank you everyone for coming.
Thanks, Jacob.
You're very welcome. Do you want me to make you the host again, or do you want me to just end?